Did you know that men originally wore high heels? Ridiculously refreshing and fun.
This is Task Us on Air. Welcome to Breaktime Bites, the place to be for that quick brain break.
This is a show where we talk about super random facts about anything under the sun. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and let's have fun. All right, Rebecca, I got another fun fact for you today, and this one is all about men and their fashion statement. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
So way back when, in the 10th century, that was a long time ago. 10th century. That is 11 centuries ago. A century is 100 years. Just so you know. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that breakdown.
Did you know that men originally wore high heels?
Really? In
Yeah.
what way?
So it's obviously a little bit gendered now, well, maybe not in 2021, maybe 20 years ago it might have been gendered, but not in 2021. But adding heels to their boots made it easier to stay in, guess what? The mode of transportation, in stirrups on top of horses.
Horses. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It does make sense, right?
Practical thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, here in Texas, all the cowboys got their boots on and they got a good, 2-3 inches on it at least.
It's true. My cowboy boots have some heel to them.
I know I don't have any heel, that's for darn sure. And I may be a rancher, but I don't wear cowboy boots. I wear mud boots and sneakers, depending on what I'm working on. I know, crazy, right?
Well, mud boots make sense, right? So that way they don't, you don't get mud on your sneakers, but
right. You get mud on your mud boots. I mean,
that's what they're for.
It is. So apparently the Persian cavalry, right? That's from Persia. Okay. Wore inch-high heels. Only an inch. That's not too bad.
That's
right?
not too bad. Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, you tell me, Rebecca. I've never worn heels, so is 1 inch too big?
I don't know. It's not too big.
Okay.
I mean, I don't wear super high heels. You will not see me in those. I have gravity issues. So, I trip in my sneakers. I don't need to be in high heels all the time. So, but 1 inch is not bad. Not big at all.
Gravity issues. Yeah, I'm going to use that one next time. Sorry, officer. I had gravity issues.
I mean, it's true. It happens.
Right? Hey. So apparently this fashion statement that the men were, that it was really, started in Europe, started to spread around Europe. Right. Well, obviously back then, this is 10th century, right? So who owned horses? Who owned horses back in the 10th century?
Men. Women didn't own anything. But
that's probably accurate.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So upper class, right? So the upper class, it essentially became, if you wore high heels, that means you were upper class.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, mind you, this was 1,000 years ago. 11 centuries ago, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's still it separated maybe, social,
right,
groups, but at the same time also it's more practical as well, right? Like I could see that being it's needed because of this, but I'm sure they, you've seen all the like older type of movies and stuff that they still take the practicality of something and make it high end, especially if it was more geared to the upper class.
Of course. I mean, it's actually a pretty cool fact that it was actually, used to make it easier to stay up on top of the horse in the stirrup. It makes sense, right?
Right. Getting
back into the science of things, right? Got to bring the science back into it, Rebecca.
Of course. Can't forget the science.
But, it's 2021, and I made a comment about that earlier, right? And it may be more acceptable now, but I mean, there's still technically people out there that don't feel like it's acceptable for men to wear high heels. They kind of box them into, well, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what you're supposed to do, right? But it's kind of changed over the years, right?
Well, yeah, and I think it's just from when people grew up, right? It's very different. Things that are so normal now, that my children are going to experience was not the case even when I was little.
Right.
Those type of okay, well, boys wear blue and girls wear pink. Now you go into the stores and like there's boy stuff with all the array of colors. Like it doesn't matter. And even on the girl side, you just truly, it looks, the difference is just really sizes, like how it fits their body. But there's not the same type of things that you saw when I was little versus now when you see even color schemes and things of that nature too. So I can absolutely see why some folks don't feel as comfortable. It depends on their environment and the people they're around and feeling comfortable to be okay if that's, you don't want to stay in that gender box,
I've never liked any type of norm of classification of like, say, people. Like, yeah, obviously you need classification of, again, going back to the science stuff, like classifying different things in science, right? But when it comes to people, I've never liked, me personally, right? I've never liked classifying and putting people into these boxes, I guess is what you can kind of call it. Like, oh, well, you fit into this box and it closely matches you, so you fit in that, and that's all you can be, right? I've never liked that kind of, that style of thinking. I grew up in a household that, obviously I'm 34 now. It's 2021. When I was growing up in high school, right, which was 2000 to 2005, I graduated 2005. It was still like anything that was LGBTQIA plus, like related, even back then, it was still like frowned upon, especially in my household, right? I grew up in a parochial Christian household, that was, that's not acceptable. That's not what's, that's not something that you could even think about, right? And I'm personally not that way. I think that everybody should just be able to be who they are, who they want to be, who they are. Like, I am Ross. I'm not some, guy that's fitting into this box or that box just because I closely match that. No, I'm just Ross,
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. I mean, I even think, even myself, Ross, you and I are similar in age. I grew up, I graduated in 2003. And one of my very best high school friends, him and I were best friends, like since we were babies. Like our families were just always together since we were young. And, we're sitting there 18 years old. And even he was like super nervous to even come out to me. Right. And I'm like, why? I don't even care. Like, why does that bother me? It doesn't bother me. It doesn't change who you are. You are who you are. We're best friends and that's it. But it's that stigma that people get nervous that people are going to treat them different because they've seen it with other folks. They've seen it with, people they know or whatever the case is. And I grew up in a very small town as well, that type of thing wasn't like spoken about very widely. It wasn't shamed, but it just wasn't out there. Right. So I could definitely see the nervousness of wanting for that type of information to be out there for everybody to know. He just kept it to himself, let his close, friends, family know, and that's it. But to me, it's like, you shouldn't feel that way. You should just be yourself. Do whatever you want. Whatever pleases you is what you should do. Right.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And, it's crazy to think that, we're now in 2021 and, June overall is really thought of as the Pride Month, right? And I'm really happy that, we finally gotten to this point, but there's still more that needs to be done, right? Just in an overall sense. The acceptance part, right, I think is kind of what you hit the nail on the head. Everybody should just accept everybody for who they are, not try and change them, no matter what it is, right? It could be your orientation. It could be something physically about you. It could be something mentally about you. It could be something spiritually about you. Just you be you, This is Task Us On Air's Breaktime Bites, the place to be for that quick brain break.
Stay tuned for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Central. To know more about us, visit taskus.com. Absolutely.
I have never seen the amount of pride though since working at Task Us. What about you, Rebecca?
Oh, same. I started at Task Us during Pride Month, actually 3 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
And I came in and seen this company created t-shirts with our logo that had the rainbow colors on it was super amazing to me, because I've never seen any I hear companies that say they're inclusive and they think everything's great or whatever, but never have gone to the level of in their branding added colors. And
like actually included the logo, right?
Yes. And then also participating in the Pride Parade as a company. I know there are many more companies doing that nowadays, but to me personally, I had not experienced it until I came to Task Us, which I thought was super amazing. I do have close friends. I have family that are of the LGBTQIA plus community, so the fact that they embraced it like that, and knowing that some of those individuals actually work for the company, I'm like, how amazing is it that they can feel that they can truly be themselves?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I know before COVID, Task Us was all about, participating in those Pride marches. And I really hope that we get back to that, as the pandemic starts to hopefully settle down. I know it's still spiking in some areas, but I really hope that we can come back to doing that. Right. We were speaking about high heels and we were talking about high heels on men. Right. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I know some guys that participate in the drag world, right? That dress up like that, and some of those guys, I mean, I'll tell you this much, Rebecca, they walk better than some of the ladies out there in those high heels.
So let me tell you, Ross, they work better than me. I told you I have issues with gravity. So I trip over my own feet in sneakers in flip-flops, right? That's just me. That's me. But seeing how amazing like stage presence and stuff like that for those individuals. Oh my goodness. Like I'm amazed. Like I'm like, man, you rock that. I could never do it, but I love that scene and the energy at being one of those shows too. It's just amazing. Super amazing.
Those are really awesome to go to. They really are, because they really, really, really get into it. And some of those dances that they do, like, are really, really good. Like I've seen some Beyonce ones and they're like I can't even do the dance. God. I'm not even gonna try, but
I wish y'all could have seen Ross do this little, I don't know what that was. It was like a little ditty.
They're much better at it than I am. And for those of you that know me, I mean, y'all know I'm always in the flip-flops. Like unless I'm told that I have to wear sneakers, I'm always in the flip-flops, never heels. So
but I absolutely love that, people feel like just great to do that, like to be themselves, even at Task Us, and I've heard stories of, teammates saying, Rebecca, I've never felt that I could, embrace this part of myself in my work world. They do it outside of work all the time, right? They have no problem with it, but embracing themselves and being able to feel comfortable about dressing the way they want to dress and being who they are, has been amazing. When we were on site and they were telling us those things, I'm like, I think that's amazing, because then you don't feel like you have to live two different worlds. You live all in the same world and everybody knows you for who you are.
Absolutely. And the inclusive-ness of how you identify too, right? It may not necessarily be an orientation. Maybe it's how you identify. I really hope that everybody, both inside and outside of Task Us, feels that way. because we do want to make sure that everybody feels empowered, especially with the LGBTQIA plus community, so that we can continue to collaborate and continue the path down to even more acceptance, right? Because there's still communities out there, there's still people out there that that do not allow us to collaborate and want us to not be who we are. And I say no on them.
Absolutely.
No on them.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Shame on them, right? Shame on them for now not allowing us to be who we want to be.
Exactly. Exactly. There should be no more boxes. No more boxes.
Speaking of boxes.
Oh my God. Are you not
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to bring up another box story. But I do think we need to add another core value.
Ooh, let me hear it.
It's real simple. It's 3 words, and 2 of the words are the exact same. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Everybody love everybody. It comes down to that, right?
I like it.
Everybody's always talking about hashtag everybody love everybody, right? We just started a new hashtag, Rebecca. This is going to be all over TikTok.
Oh my God. No, it needs to be all over all social media.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. TikTok, IG. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Everything.
Yes.
Everybody love everybody.
All the things, all the social things, all the social medias, it needs to be there. But everybody love everybody, and really what it comes down to is not just acceptance, but like let everybody just be who they are and just love them for who they are. That's really what that comes down to.
Agreed. 100%.
Well, I love how the interesting facts always take us down a journey. Today, we started talking about how men had a fashion statement turned into somehow practical use of having high heels. And then we talked about everybody love everybody, the new core value.
Yes. Like someone's going to quote us on that.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, that is a wrap. What random fact do you want to talk about tomorrow? Make sure to send us a message on all of our social media pages on Facebook and YouTube at TaskUs and Instagram and Twitter at TaskUsTX. We'll see you next time, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.